we are here today with Ray Garcia and Kara Cowart, who are between them directing the show opener for this year's cast season in Bay City, A Night on Broadway. Why don't we go ladies first? Kara, tell me a bit about yourself and how it is that you are now one of these two directors.
Well, I grew up in Bay City, and after leaving for a while and getting my degrees, I moved back to Bay City in 2008 and have been teaching at the high school. I teach choir, and after being involved there, I got involved with cast. I've actually been involved with cast for probably about 12 years now. When the Night on Broadway show started, I was not able to participate in the first one, but I started being a performer when the second one happened. And we had a series of directors who directed it over the years. I was not one of them until about 5 years ago, and I started to take over this production. And then when Ray moved back into town, I saw a fantastic opportunity to get to work together with him. And so I went to Ray and I said, will you please come and help me direct this show? Because I know his background as a performer. He's very talented. He's an excellent teacher and choreographer and creative director. And so we started doing this together. Last year was our first year to work together. And so it's been really fun because when we get together, the creative juices start flowing, and who knows what kind of ideas are going to come out.
Yeah.
Well, we've been speaking about you, Ray. Let's now hear from you directly. You have an interesting background, and although you're a local boy, I believe you've spent some time and have quite a lot of kudos to show for it away from Bay City. Tell me about that and what made you come back.
Well, I'm originally from Bay City. I grew up here. I moved away in... I'm going to tell you how old I am. I moved away in 1981 after I graduated. Moved to California to be with a group called the Young Americans, where they were these young singer-dancer people. And so I performed with them for a few years, got to go to Cannes, France for a summer with them, tour the United States, and I performed with Liberace, actually, with them, which is kind of crazy. Anyway, so then that started it all. I moved to California to be in that group, and then I just stayed there, and I worked a lot there in California. I did a lot of music videos in the early 80s. I lived in Italy for 3 years, working on dancing on television in Rome, Italy for a few years. Went on tour with Debbie Gibson. I did a couple of shows on Broadway. I did Rent on Broadway and Peter Pan on Broadway. And my last few years before I moved back, I was mostly choreographing shows there in L.A. So, yeah, I've gotten to do a lot. Oh, and Rita Moreno, I have to say that because I love her so much. I got to do a show at the Rita Moreno, her one-woman show in Berkeley Repertory Theater. But, yeah, I've got to do a lot of amazing things, and very grateful for all of those things. And I'm back in Bay City because I wanted to be closer to my family, and I want to give kids here in Bay City an opportunity to perform and learn these things that I've gotten to learn over these years, and give them confidence and let them know that it's possible. If they want to do something in the entertainment industry, that it's possible they can do that, even though we're from a really small town. And
now, I understand that you started a business, and you started a business right before something significant happened.
Yes.
Tell us about that and how it's going for you now.
Yes. Well, we opened this Bay City Academy of Performing Arts. We opened it in 2019 when I moved here in March of 2019. And we opened this in September. And then COVID happened, and by March of 2020, we had closed because of the COVID. And that first year, we had around 60 students. And we now have around 130, 140 kids at our school now taking classes here, which is just amazing, and couldn't be happier about it.
Now, you give an annual sort of end-of-year show, recital, performance, something like that. Is that well attended in Bay City?
Yes. I'll be honest with you, I was a little surprised by it, but our last recital in last May, we had around 1,000 people there at the Key Ingram Auditorium. It was packed. There were people standing on the sides. So it was pretty amazing. I couldn't be more thankful of the people here in Bay City to come out and support us, because I think it's so important to support the arts. And the fact that we had that many people there supporting us was just an amazing thing, and I'm very thankful for that.
Kara was describing, or maybe I was describing you as directors, but I believe between the two of you, you're a lot more than just the directors. Don't laugh. I'm an innocent. I'm naive when it comes to the performing arts. But I understand that this show, A Night on Broadway, which has been running for some years in slightly different forms, it's all your own work. Am I right?
Yes.
It is. It's our own work. We come up with the idea. We actually perform in it as well. Mm-hmm. We both sing. And last year when we did this, I actually danced with my youngest son. He performed with me when he was 8.
Yeah.
And that was really fun. But not only do we perform, but we come up with the concept. Ray choreographs all the dances. We sit down together and come up with a song list. This year we've added in a little bit of acting, which is a new concept for this show. We're kind of tying it together. So the theme this year is film noir. And what we were talking, Ray and I sit down and we may go months and we're like, we're kind of thinking Night on Broadway. We know it's coming. But I think with all good artists, procrastination is our friend. Yeah.
Do you teach that to your students
I do not.
at high school too?
I do not.
I don't teach that either.
And my husband tells me, you tell your students all the time. But I think the creative juices start flowing when the pressure's on and we have to kind of come up with an idea. And probably back in November, we were sitting around tossing ideas about what would be fun to do, because we like to have a theme that pulls all the music together. Last year, we didn't necessarily have a storyline like we kind of do this year, but, we want to have a connection with the music. And we were sitting around, and I really don't even remember how it came about, but the film noir idea came up. And we just both immediately loved that idea. We started talking about all the music we could use. And then we're like, we could have this storyline. And we have our private detective who is looking for something that he's lost. And he's got to go through all the different people to find it. And so then we started picking songs around that.
Yeah.
That sounds a bit like ABBA the musical. Perhaps a slightly different size of production, but
yes.
Great idea.
Yes.
Oh, and how embarrassing. It's my phone. So how much does it cost to go along to it?
So the tickets are $45. You can purchase your tickets on our website, which is baycitycast.com. And this is our most expensive show of the season because it is a dinner theater. But people love it. They ask us, when are you going to have it again? And we actually changed. We decided as of last year that this was going to be the opener to our season every year. So this show is going to come around in January.
Tell me about the dinner. Maybe it's just because as we're recording this, it's getting towards that time of day. What is the dinner?
So Fat Grass is going to be catering, our local restaurant here in town. And the dinner is going to start off with a salad course. It's a field green salad with crispy bacon, goat cheese, candied walnuts, and a grilled pineapple vinaigrette.
Okay, that covers a few of the $45.
And then the main course is braised boneless short ribs with garlic mashed potatoes, green bean almondine, and a Pinot Noir demi-glace, followed with a turtle cheesecake with blackberry sauce for dessert.
Okay, that's my favorite already. The black. Oh, my God.
I think it all sounds good. I'm not going to pick or choose. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm looking forward to that because I am a patron and I get free tickets to all your shows. And perhaps we could just talk about that for a moment. Cast, which has been around since when did Cast start?
Cast started in 1999.
And it very much relies on the support of the local community. Is that a fair comment?
It is absolutely a fair comment. We could not do what we do without the support of our community, without our patrons. And we offer patron packages, which kind of help the community support us even more. You get a few perks when you purchase a patron package. And there are different levels that you can get. And the number of tickets you get with each package are based on, of course, how much you want to give. Patrons, we have 5 shows in our season, and you're automatically, your tickets are part of that patron package. Patrons get first pick at their seats. It is all assigned seating. You can go into the system and it'll show you where your tickets are, and you can choose the seats that you want. We actually just got some new seating just this past year. They came in this summer. So now we have these nice comfy chairs that you can sit in. They have arms on them, and they're all reserved. They're numbered and labeled as well. So you can pick your seat. We have some patrons, in fact, who have already booked their seats for every show in the season because they know where they want to sit and they want to be guaranteed those seats. So we've gone in and, they've already got their seats for all 5 shows.
One quick other thought about the patronage. I did some research and I understand that you can become a patron and get a ticket to every show for as little as $150, and while the website stops at 3,000 and a bazillion tickets and all sorts of other benefits, I'm sure there's no limit to how much you'd accept. Because Ray, you're saying that there's an ambitious fundraising goal that you have at present. The cast wants to buy a building, is that right?
That's correct. We're trying to buy, we'd like to buy the building that we're in now. It's the Edith Armstrong building.
Yes.
But yeah, we're doing all sorts of fundraising to try to raise some money to purchase the building.
In fact, I'll throw this out there. We have been offered a 2-for-1 matching grant by a community member. And so if we can raise up to $25,000, then they will match us 2-for-1 for everything that we've earned. So we're on the track. We had a big fundraiser this past summer, and we're going to have some more coming. But if there's people who want to donate to that cause or businesses in our community, we're certainly going to be reaching out, or would love to have that support and have them be a part of helping us become a more permanent fixture in that location.
That's great.
Just coming out of election season, and I can't tell you how many times I got emails, special 7-for-1 or something. David, send your money in.
Yeah.
But this is actually real. You actually have some very kind person who's willing to write out a check for up to $50,000 to push you over the finishing line.
Yes.
We
do.
The first performance is on Thursday the 19th. Is that right?
That is correct. It
And
is
then
coming up quick.
how many shows are you putting on in total? How many performances of your show?
So there will be 7 performances this year. In past years, people have gotten used to, we usually have 6. And for all of our other shows, we're running 6 performances. But because we sold out every show last year, we have added an additional night. So I would recommend highly going and getting your tickets, because once those tickets are gone, we can't fit any more seats in there. And it is a highly sought after event for people to attend. So we're going to run 4 performances in the first weekend. So it's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and that will start at 7. Then we have 1 Sunday matinee.
You've been doing the show for some years, and you mentioned film noir. So this is going to be different to last year's show. If people have been 2 or 3 years before, will they recognize it, or will they say this is new and different, and will they be pleased?
Well, I think every year we try to do something different. We want it, we try to top ourselves every year. We want something, we want the audience to be excited, and we want them to come back, obviously. So this year, last year we did, I don't remember what we did.
We have a song and dance.
Oh, song and dance last year.
We had a lot of dancing
Yeah.
incorporated into it last year.
So this year it's film noir, so it's a lot of songs from movies from the 30s and the 40s. And then we have some dancing in it this year, not as much as last year, I think, but it's still going to be great. We want it to be different every year is what I'm trying to say. We want something new and something people haven't seen before.
Well, I think we try to keep it fresh. I think our goal, we always try to top what we did the year before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that's the artist in us. We feel like we have to do
Better.
bigger and better
Bigger and
every
better.
year. I think with this one, what we're going to find is, like I said, we've got a little bit of storyline running through it this time.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're giving the people or some of our performers a chance to act a little bit instead of just having songs. In past years, we might have had just songs. They're all connected in some way. One year we've had a love theme. One year we had a night of jazz music. We've also done a nightmare on Broadway, which we would do around Halloween time, and that was all the songs of the villains. And so last year we had song and dance. So we're going in a totally different direction this year. And people are going to hear some of their favorites the Rat Pack songs that Doris Day did, songs by Charlie Chaplin.
You mentioned you were going to do a Casablanca song. That's
Yes.
something I recognize, I think.
As time goes by, we're doing that song.
Oh, what a classic, beautiful song that is.
It is.
Promise it will be well sung.
The world will always welcome lovers as time goes by.
Yes,
Absolutely.
all of our singers are going to be really great.
Well, and we start rehearsing, and of course we've listened to them audition, and we know, and a lot of them are returning performers, but I'm really excited because we have probably 4 or 5 new people this year, and it's their first time performing with Cast. And so it's always exciting to us to get some newcomers in. I know we enjoy performing, but I'm always a little afraid that people are going to get tired of watching us all the time.
It's the Kara and Ray show.
It is. But it's super exciting. I mean, we've got some guys, some gentlemen that sound just like the Rat Pack.
Yeah, it's crazy how
I mean,
good they
it's
are.
just, you could close your eyes and you would think you're listening to Bing Crosby and Frank Sinatra and
Sam
all
Davis
those.
Jr.
Yes.
It's really good. That number I like. It's a trio number with the 3 men.
Coming up to sort of a closing comment or two, what would you each? And Ray, we both know we need to give the lady the last word, so I'll ask you first. What is the thought you most want to leave with people to encourage them to come along and experience this event?
You know, I feel like what we're trying to create here in our community, in our town, Bay City, I want people to enjoy the arts, support the arts, because I feel like it's such an important thing for everyone, even kids. You know, it really does build life lessons and life confidence, and so I would love for the people to come support the arts and enjoy a night where it's just a great night of singing and dancing, and there's some comedy parts in there as well. I think it's just going to be a really, really fun night, and the food.
The food will be good.
The cheesecake, the blackberry cheesecake. But yes, I would love for people to just come out and support us and have a great time. It's going to be fun.
That's what it's all about.
Exactly.
Kara.
I would say over the years of doing this, the thing I enjoy the most is hearing comments from people who have never been to a show. And a lot of times a friend will bring them and they go, "Oh my gosh, I did not know we had this in our community." And I'm amazed that I can still hear that every year. And so I would say to people, one, if you've been, invite a friend who hasn't gone, because they might not know. And our biggest advertising is those who have been, and it's word of mouth. Because when you go out and you tell your friends, or you invite your friends, or give them a gift and buy them a ticket. And because I hear comments from, it's funny, I guess, I don't want to stereotype, but, I'll see wives bring their husbands who are not interested in theater as much as they might be for sporting events or other things. And they walk away and they go, "Oh my gosh, that was such a fantastic show. You can come in and get a glass of wine or a beer and sit there and watch theater." And this kind of a show is a good introduction to someone who may not think that they would like to watch theater, because it's fast-paced, it's moving, it's a variety of things. And I think that if people would just give it a shot, they're going to find that it's going to be a great evening, and they're going to come back year after year.
Yes.
Or so we all hope. And tickets, you said, can be purchased off your website at Bay City Cast. I should say CAST, I guess, C-A-S-T.
Yes.
Community Actors of South Texas, baycitycast.com.
Yes, and all tickets must be pre-purchased because of the dinner involved.
Right.
There will be a deadline, so make sure that you go online and get your tickets ahead of time. We do not sell tickets at the door for this show.
Your theatre is on the north side of Nichols Avenue, is that right?
Yes.
A couple of blocks up from 35.
920 Nichols Avenue, just past Bay City Junior High. If you just keep traveling that way, we're a little tiny building in between 2 churches. We'll have signs out. You can't miss us.
A night on Broadway, Thursday to Sunday, 19 to 22 of January, again the next week, the 26th to the 28th of January. Tickets, including a lovely dinner catered from the good folks at Fatgrass, $45 each, expecting to be sold out, we hope, especially if you choose to come along as well, and doubly especially if you bring a friend. I'm going to ask one final question. Assuming that the power of radio works, would you be able to put on yet another show? Would you have room to put in one more performance? Sorry, I keep saying show rather than performance.
It's possible.
We'll make that a challenge,
It's definitely a possibility. I mean, I would love to have that problem that we have so many people interested. If we had that many, we would definitely figure out a way to add in another performance.
Well, on that positive note of optimism and happy problems, I'm going to say thank you very much to Cara Cowett and Ray Garcia, the two directors, inspirers, designers, everything is of A Night on Broadway. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you.